Johnson, before this game, told reporters that he was interested in the Chicago Bears head coaching job, and we got to see exactly what he did at Soldier Field in Week 16. And also, he got to see what Caleb Williams could do, his potential future quarterback, as the rookie broke two more major records, one NFL and one for the Chicago Bears. Most passing yards ever by a Chicago Bears rookie quarterback again, but the first one ever with 3,000 plus, along with the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to throw over 300 consecutive passes without an interception. Bears fall in this one, though, 17-34 at home against the Detroit Lions. Was probably expected by most of you guys, but in all honesty, a lot of good things came out of this game, and I'm here to break it all down. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. And before we get more into today's show, make sure you hit that like button on this video if you're excited about the future of Caleb Williams, along with commenting your grade A through F on Caleb Williams' day against the Detroit Lions. And are you a Bears fan? Want to stay up to date on all Chicago Bears news and notifications? Hit that subscribe button, and if you do so, you automatically enter to win a custom jersey of your choice. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts in the comment section below. Today's winner will be announced on the community page after this, and if you do all that today, you automatically enter to win after this Thursday's game against the Seahawks. So instant reaction in this one, guys. It's a Bears loss. We were expecting it. 9th loss in a row, unfortunately. Crazy how this team started 4-2. But I looked at this game today as please just show some progression out of Caleb Williams and some of the younger guys. And that's exactly what we got. He had a really nice game overall. In my grade for him, I'm giving him an A-, all things considered, with losing 2 offensive line starters in the first half. In fact, in the first quarter. And that's what all I wanted to see out of Caleb Williams was a big game, and I think you guys can agree with that too. We got to see Keenan Allen have a big game too, his first 100-plus receiving yard as a Chicago Bear today. And then Cole Kmet got his first touchdown in 6 games today. Good to see him back and involved in the offense with Thomas Brown. And then Rome Odunze had some really big plays in a big game overall today, especially after 2 big mental mistakes early in this game. He was involved in the first fumble that was credited to Caleb Williams, and then he fumbled the ball himself on the next drive. But Rome had a big day overall, and I'm happy to see that the rookie was able to shake that off for himself. So that's a good instant reaction of progression for me. But also, this truly showed that this team needs to clear house when it comes to the coaching staff and a lot of the players that, even though we like them, it's time to head in a new direction. Eric Washington, our current defensive coordinator, filling in, calling plays for Matt Eberflus. Now that Matt Eberflus is no longer calling them, he just wasn't ready to be a DC. And I have to agree with Flus on this. Flus even said that he was going to play more of a consultant role, and I think that's exactly what Eric Washington was doing, and he was doing a good job at, and because we're obviously seeing a major decline in this defensive play, especially with how talented that it is. And there is injuries, no doubt about it, but still, falling apart is not very good. Thomas Brown also not ready to be a head coach. I think that's another big answer that we got, and he's much better sitting up in the box versus being on the field. Bears offense for that 3-game span even though it's all losses, Bears had over 300-plus yards of offense every single time. Caleb had his best 3-game stretch of the season, and then Brown became the head coach, and he obviously had to focus on other directions. But I think that this also shows that Thomas Brown could stay a part of this team even if Ben Johnson does become our head coach. Who knows? But he has a really good relationship with Caleb. They're working, and this was the best game he's had since becoming the Bears' interim head coach. And then finally, I just thought it was an overall good day from the offense. They're still not ready, though, from an overall perspective. They need a head coach like Ben Johnson to come in and hopefully change things up for this team. But after today's game, obviously, we saw that the NFC North standings, the Lions still on top, but a big game for the Minnesota Vikings coming up tonight as they have to win in order to stay in potential for that NFC North. Packers play tomorrow against the Saints, and the Bears now on a 9-game losing streak, 4-11. And the Bears now can potentially get the top 8 overall pick after this loss. So look at it with a glass half full that the Bears, unfortunately, are relying on a losing culture right now, but this is hopefully the last year of having that, and the Bears have a top 10 pick and to address some big areas. But let's go through the offensive roller coaster today. So the Bears did have some nice flashes against the most injured team in the NFL, keep in mind. But again, Rome Odunze with a big game, over 50 yards receiving, Keenan Allen with over 100 yards receiving, Cole Kmet with a touchdown, and Caleb had himself a day too, over 300 yards passing against the Detroit Lions. He looked really good for the most part, and Aaron Glenn's a good defensive coordinator, so all things considered. But the Bears started the game with 4 drives of 2 fumbles and 2 punts. And the rest of the game, they actually got things going. So you look at the offensive breakdown for the Chicago Bears today. They had over 400 yards of offense, which is pretty exciting for us to see here. In total, minus the sacks, they had over 400 yards of offense, but with the sacks, 382 total yards of offense, 323 passing yards, with 59 rushing and a 6.5 yard per gain average. So pretty good. 20 first downs, but they were 2 for 10 on third down. Obviously not ideal, but they were 3 for 4 on fourth down, which is obviously pretty exciting. 59 total plays though, so you can't blame them too much. But at the end of the day, 10 penalties killed this team as always, and the Bears lost 2 fumbles and they had less time of possession. But again, my big thing of the day was Caleb Williams' day. Caleb Williams though, big day for him. 26 for 39 with 332 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, with 57 rushing yards. So Caleb had 389 total yards on the day with 1 turnover on the first drive, which was a fumble. And then he averaged 12.5 yards per pass. And it wasn't a change in the half. Usually Caleb has bigger second halves, but Caleb's first half was pretty impressive. 13 for 21 with 198 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 0 rushing yards though, so all in the second half. 1 turnover and averaged 15.2 yards per pass. The second half, he really didn't slow down too much. I mean, less passing yards, but he was more accurate. 13 for 18 with 134 passing yards. 57 rushing yards. I apologize about that. And a little over 10 yards per pass. So overall, Caleb Williams did do a very good job today. And on top of it, he broke the Bears' single season franchise record for most passing yards in a single season by a rookie. He did that a couple weeks ago, but the first Bears rookie ever to have 3,000 plus passing yards in a season. Along with that, too, he has the most ever consecutive passes by a rookie quarterback without an interception. He's now over 300, first guy to do that. So I want to hear what you guys are thinking. I gave Caleb Williams an A- on the day. I think that he had a really good ball game for this ball club, and that's what's going to help this team continue to progress. And he did it in front of Ben Johnson, which is going to want this Bears head coaching gig even more now. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But one more thing is that I want to shout out our Authentico player of the game from an offensive standpoint. Defense didn't have really anyone to call out on this one, but our Authentico player of the game is Keenan Allen. 9 receptions for 140 yards, a 15.6 yard per catch average with 6 first downs and 1 for receiving touchdown. Go make sure you check out Authentico today. Keenan Allen gets a bottle of tequila on us. Link in bio today. Make sure you go and try Authentico near you. But let's go over to the defense, which got to go against potentially Bears' next head coach, Ben Johnson, which is obviously a big, big challenge. We got to see the next offensive game plan. Fake tripping by Jared Goff for a touchdown, big offensive gains, his wide receivers, all of them being spread out. But on top of it, too, this Bears defense had 0 energy today. They're checked out. They want the season to be over. They know a lot of it falls on them, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, it was a good game by the Bears offense. The defense, unfortunately, didn't hold up their end of the bargain. And you can see it right here on the stat sheet. Bears defense, 474 yards, allowed 329 passing, 145 rushing, 27 first down, 7 for 12 on third down with a 7.3 yard per play average. 1 sack by Zacch Pickens, his first sack of the year. But this Lions offense just got things going, and Ben Johnson definitely did a good job in his first interview for the Bears head coaching gig. Look at the stats, though, by Eric Washington. I hit on this earlier that he shouldn't be the DC moving forward. I think that we need to clean house and maybe bring in a Robert Saleh or something. But since taking over in the last 3 games, Eric Washington has allowed over 1,350 total yards of offense, 1,010 passing yards, 341 rushing. And this is in 3 games, guys. 8.5 yards per play, 4 sacks only in 3 games, and 2 turnovers, both in the first 2 games. But that is not what's going to make you win ball games. And that's why I think this Bears defense keeps your top pieces, but the Bears have to go out and spend in the trenches. They need to find a defensive coordinator that everyone is fired up behind. And hopefully that's another indicator that the Bears need to clean house on this one. Eric Washington was not ready to be a defensive coordinator, though he has it on his resume now. He's learning from this experience, and he might be better later. But at the end of the day, guys, here's what I'm going to say. It's time to clean house. It's time to move on. The only person I'm potentially keeping is Thomas Brown because of his relationship with Caleb Williams. And he'd have to be willing to be more of a consultant as an offensive coordinator if Ben Johnson comes in. But at the end of the day, clean out everybody. Maybe even Ryan Poles. I'm not out on Poles yet, but if the Bears are truly going to clean house, If you keep Ryan Poles, you're going to keep him for at least another 2 to 3 years. That's what happens. You're not going to give him one more year after cleaning house again, especially from your coaching staff. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that too, because it could be an interesting situation. But at the end of the day, the Bears unfortunately lose. Better draft pick, though. Big day by Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen, Roman Dunze, and Cole Kmet. And we got things going. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Hopefully things get better. And also I want to give a shout out to Braxton Jones and Tevin Jenkins. Hopefully they get better soon. Both of them suffered injuries and were out for the rest of the game after the fourth quarter. This Bears offensive line just needs to get through the next 2 games. So we'll see what ends up happening. But with that, thank you as always for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody. And as always, bear down, baby.